Welcome. You are listening to Humans of Mitti Ke Rang. And today we are in conversation with Miss Bruna Filismino from Brazil. Miss Filismino has been encouraging culture awareness through languages, especially English. Tune in to know more about her story so far. Bruna, should we get to the question?
Sure, let's do it.
Great. So, as you said, your main aim and your main purpose in life is to promote peace through languages and culture awareness. So, how exactly do you do that?
Okay, so among those who had like a public mission, among those people who had a public mission, they did share a lot of knowledge, and for I can say like Jesus Christ here in Brazil is very strong, and also we have Buddha, Krishna in India, all this knowledge, all these personalities sharing knowledge about cultural and mainly live in peace, right? So
Mm-hmm.
here in Brazil, we have kind of education issue. So people here don't speak, poor people, I mean, don't speak English at all. They learn English in school, but it's like so bad that they cannot even speak. For
Mm-hmm.
me, I had the opportunity to improve my English, from friends that helped me. And I have like a sponsor, so that's why I am able to speak and share this knowledge. But for
Mm-hmm.
most of people here in Brazil, they don't have the same opportunity to improve English and get to know other culture. They only speak Portuguese, and that's it. So I think if we can like open our eyes and get to know other cultures and get to know new
Mm-hmm.
knowledge, and then we are able to hear different things, to see from different perspectives, right?
Yes, right. And so according to you, why is it so important for people to be culture aware?
All right. So, like I said, uh, here in Brazil, Jesus Christ is very strong, but also we get to knowing more and more different cultures like Buddha, and then people can get to know different values. Values shape the way a people act in society and for the people
Mm-hmm.
around them. So sometimes people just don't realize their values and what is the most important, like being a moral person, to respect each other, to listen, to speak in a way that people can understand you. And here in Brazil, we are getting more and more knowledge that came from other countries because Brazil, it's like 500 years old only, so we are kind of new, and then we are getting to get this knowledge now. So I think that's because I believe communication and language is so important because you can like open your mind.
Yes. And you've also uh, you do you teach any other language apart from English?
I've been studying English for the past 10 years. So English is like the language I can speak with security. So, and I've been in the United States, but I've tried learn German for a while because I've been German. And also I can listen and understand Spanish because it's kind of
Mhm.
same of Portuguese. Not the same, but it's similar. So, but English is the only language like I feel comfortable, and I think because it's an universal language, it's the most
Mhm.
common. So it's pretty much the base. We need to learn English, and then we can step forward other languages.
Right. And you've also traveled a lot. And So could you share some of these travel experiences with us?
Okay, so um, I am like a Brazilian woman, and Brazil has um, a huge cultural, but for poor women, it's not that great because we also
Mm-hmm.
have poor and a lot of not equality situations. And I was born in a
Mm-hmm.
poor family, and I'm a woman. So my grandfather is a black person, was, sorry, he passed away last year. So for me, taking consider this background, it is not easy to go exchange and to know other countries. As I said, poor woman and all my heritage. So I
Mm-hmm.
I had this opportunity, like I said, I had a sponsor during my life. So for this reason, I was able to study hard, to focus on my career, to get to know myself better, and then I was able to exchange. Like I've been in German, Switzerland, and also United States last year, Mexico, and here in Brazil. But like for me, taking consider my background, that's kind of a quite bit. But you know, I also want to get travel to South Coast, South Brazil here,
Mm-hmm.
South America here, because I haven't been Peru, I haven't been, in Argentina, I haven't been these
Mm-hmm.
places, and they are my neighbor.
Yeah. So we hope you do someday, and someday soon, as soon as this situation is over. And so, from the experience that you have had the chance to have, is there anything that you have learned that you now apply to your life?
From the travel, from the all the trips I made, yeah, quite a
Mm-hmm.
lot. I think like mainly to be, how can I say that? Listen more, sing more, because sometimes when we get attached only to our culture, people can think like there's no different way to live, but of course there is. Sometimes we just haven't seen it yet. So when we go to other countries, we are able to get in touch with these different cultures, these different ways to live, to eat, to speak, to express love, and also emotion. So
Mm-hmm.
when we go to other countries, we kind of stay introvert and listen more, watch more,
Yeah.
and think more. So I think pretty much I've learned to listen and to observe and not just taking the first thought I have. I think to watch and then analyze,
Mm-hmm.
just living and not taking preconcepts. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes. Really, really well said. On this note, we have a question from a viewer. So her name is
Nice.
Vyomi, and she asked, what was the one experience that has been closest to you so far, where you witnessed an initiative making difference, or you found reinforcement?
When you witness this initiative, okay. Well, that's a good question. When you witness this, what exactly does she mean about reinforcement? When you found a
Probably
sorry, I think I couldn't hear you, just cut a little bit.
sure, sure. So I think she means an experience that reinforced your belief and gave you
All right.
encouragement towards what you were doing right now.
Wow, nice. Nice questions. Thank you, Viomi. Thank you so much. Yes. Well, I have said my background, And I also can share that my dad was murderer when I was 2 years old. So that's why I had a sponsor in my life. So my dad was son of black family, and then I always had this image of violence, and I could understand like why they kill my dad, you know? This doesn't make sense. What happened and why people act like this? Why there are so much injustice, mainly to black
Mhm.
people, which my father was kind of
Yeah.
brown and I am white because of my grandmother, but my grandfather is black. So since kid, I've been thinking a lot about this, trying to understand. So this is pretty common to me since I was a kid, always wondering and like, how can all the world be more peaceful so other kids' fathers don't be killed, you know, and other people don't
Mhm.
die. That's what I mean. I think pretty much our situation right now, it says that we need to be our own reinforcement. We don't need to actually
Mhm.
expect for others to educate us. Like, it's nice. That's what I'm doing. I try to teach people language so they can open their minds, but pretty much I also think it's our responsibility to do the world a better place to live. All right, take this responsibility and try go for it and find knowledge.
Amazing. Well, I would just like to say, add here that you're so brave for turning such a, I would say, traumatic experience into such a beautiful thing. And I just spreading love. That's the message, right?
Yes, exactly. Pretty much yes.
Great. So I'll move on to my next question. Before that, if there are any other viewers who want to ask any more questions to Bruna, please go ahead and leave a comment and you'll get to them. Um, so, Bruna, you are also a designer by profession. And so, what do you do exactly? If you could tell us a bit more about it.
Yes, I've been working as a designer also for the past 8 years. Now I'm only focused on teaching, but I've been a designer for a while, working for companies in home offices also. And for me, I felt like this force inside of me to put my ideas in the world. And for this to happen, I felt the need of the skills. Like, how can I do this? You know, how is this
Mm-hmm.
possible? How can I share this message? So for me, design is a skill. We can use design to express ourselves, to say to spread a message. So actually, I worked for companies, so their messages were like money, but I also can do for myself now, and I'm working on it. So I think design can put your ideas in the world.
Yeah, definitely. And you also just mentioned that you are also teaching currently. So, please tell us more about that.
Uh-huh. So now, taking consider the virus and everything, I am working inside home, and I also homeschool my baby brother. He's 5 years old, and during the day, I spend time with him, teaching him and playing, having fun. And at night, I have few students, which we have meetings by video call. And then I try to, like, I teach them English. I try to explain the best I can to share this knowledge. And they can go and do some exchange in the future, and I also have my blog where I am working on my podcast. So I've been working the last episode right now, which talks about Indonesia, and the episodes before this were like Australia, Canada, Ireland, London, India. I
Mm-hmm.
started my first episode talking about India because I have a friend in India, Dia. He connected us. So I choose him to start my podcast, and I talk about the culture of these countries. I mention it, and I also choose for this podcast a personality to mainly women. I choose 6 women, and I talk about their lives, what they did. So just for an example, we have Virginia Woolf, which is an artist, a writer. So I talked about her in my 50th episode, and that's pretty much what I'm working on right now. Update my blog, my podcast, teaching English, Portuguese.
Beautiful. I wish you all the very best for your blog and podcast. Um, do you have an inspiration, Bruna, a person that really inspires you and the work you are doing and you would want to do?
Yeah, I quite a few. I love arts in general. I also love literature in general. I'm passionate about books and, express yourself, right? Language. But for me,
Yes.
now I'm focused on to mainly to watch and to listen to Black people and Black women, just because it speaks with my soul. So I have this
Mhm.
singer she calls Mumu Fresh. She has videos on YouTube, Mumu Fresh, and she
Mhm.
sings about being a woman and being like Black woman. I'm not a Black woman, but I do share the feelings,
Yeah.
and it speaks to my soul. So pretty much, I focus myself on to watch and listen to women's and mainly Black women's.
Right. And oops, sorry about that. Um,
It's okay.
for our Indian viewers,
Sorry, sorry. Could you repeat? Sorry. Hi. Oops. Hi. Can you hear me? Hi.
hi, can you hear me?
Now, yes.
I'm so sorry about that. There must have got something gone wrong on my end.
It's okay.
Um,
It happened.
my next question to you is for our Indian viewers. Um,
Okay.
could you please share something something about your country and the beauty of it and what you love about it?
Oh, that's nice. Thank you for the question. Brazil, it's a huge place. I was born in São Paulo,
Hmm.
inside São Paulo, and now I live in the south. I choose to live here in the south because of beaches around, which I prefer to be around beaches and the nature. But also, São Paulo is a nice place. It's rich, speaking of um, cultural and diversity. But I pretty much love the beaches in Brazil. So here in Santa Catarina right now, it's a beautiful place. We have Florianópolis, a city very famous. It's near me 1 hour by car. So I do like these things. Brazil, it's beautiful. But like I said, for a poor woman background, Brazil sometimes can
Hmm.
be expensive if you want to explore. So sometimes if you want to go to outside, like Europe or United States or somewhere else, it's cheaper than to travel here in Brazil. So I haven't been in
Wow.
Amazonia, I haven't been in North, I haven't been, in so many places around here because it's just not affordable. But I haven't been Rio de Janeiro, São Paulo, Santa Catarina, Minas Gerais, few places, not a lot, but beautiful.
Mhm. I'm sure it is. I wish to visit someday. And
Come,
could you tell us
please.
more? Could you tell us more about Carnival? Have you ever attended?
Carnival, yeah. For us here in Brazil, it's like our energy. So when Carnival is happening, we feel more ourselves, right?
Mhm.
So when Carnival is happening, we feel like freedom, we can be ourselves, we can express ourselves, no judgments. So I think this is a feeling we should have all year, during all the year. But on Carnival, we focus on costumes and shine and glitter. So that's a good feeling. I like Carnival, but not the big ones. The big ones are like too much for me, but I like the carnivals in the small cities. I've been carnival in small cities, and I think it works better because you can see people, you can watch some costumes and people have fun and listen to music. Happiness.
Yeah, lovely. And also, football is a big thing in Brazil. So, do you follow it
Definitely.
as well?
I do not watch football at all. I tried. I tried in one World Cup, maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago when I was a kid. But since then, I can't follow because for me, I've been playing it like for real at school. I played foot soccer, right? But
Hmm.
just because the teachers asked. Because I'm more into other stuffs, not football. But I have friends that enjoy a lot. It's very famous.
Yeah. And so, I'll come to the last couple of questions for you.
Oh.
So, if you could tell us, if you could tell us from your experience, again, what are some words of advice you would like to give to people who also want to be uh, culture aware and want to spread the message that you're spreading?
Mm-hmm. Nice. So for me at least, I try focus on the present time and like what I can do now that is a good thing. What I can do now that share knowledge that can help someone else to get
Mhm.
to know this different thing I'm doing. So pretty much you guys are an inspiration for me, definitely. And also what I can do right now that can help other people's, not only me, not only pleasure and good, feeling good for myself. Also, this is important, right? But
Mhm.
also to share this. So pretty much what is available for me to do right now.
Right, right. And before we go, if you could please share with our viewers your social media and how they can get in touch with you and know more about your work and
Mhm.
also your blog and podcast as well. That would be lovely.
Nice. So my name is Bruna Filismino. My podcast you can find if someone is interesting, you can find in Spotify and SoundCloud as Bruna Filismino, and my blog it is Bru says like saying something. So brusays.com.
Lovely. Um, Thank you so, so much, Bruna, for joining us all the way from Brazil, for
Thank
sharing your
you.
lovely story with us. And thank you for being the brave person you are and
Oh,
being so adamant on spreading so much love across the world. Thank you so much
oh.
again.
Thank you guys for the opportunity. The job you guys are working, it's amazing. And you guys are almost there, right? Almost there, just a little bit more. And I feel inspired by you. Thank you so much again.
Thank you so much, Bruna. I hope you're keeping safe and hopefully we meet soon.
Okay, I hope so. Bye.
Bye bye. Have a good day.
You too.